Drug education in the 90s. What a time to be terrified.
The 90s are gonna make the 60s look like the 50s.
I grew up in the 90s. I was born in 1987, and my very first memory of being told about anything other than cigarettes or alcohol was when I was in kindergarten. A cop came to our school in a school assembly and told everyone about LSD and the harmful things that can come from LSD and the horrible hallucinations you have when you're on LSD. This terrified me. I remember going home to my mom and crying and just being all over traumatized. That's basically how I remember drug education in the 1990s.
Hey, it's the 90s.
So I found this animated cartoon by D.A.R.E. So this cartoon is about a bunch of little kids working on a drug education project for school, only to literally wander into the land of decisions and choices. So let's give it a try. Maybe this is a refreshing, cool drug cartoon from the 90s. So let's try it. We open on Tommy calling Johnny about their anti-drug project, and Tommy quickly says on the phone,
"I have marijuana coming out of my ears."
I have marijuana coming out of my ears. I just think that's a funny visual. I don't know. I do think it's funny that the grandfather smokes. I think that's an interesting detail. I think maybe that was intentional, and my cats are fighting.
Our team's report is gonna be the best.
Wake up and smell the 90s.
I love it when Johnny shows up and gives Tommy a really cool handshake, and the other girl's just like. So then we go to the little blonde girl's house who is cleaning up after her drunk dad, or so it's implied, which is sad. So the kids collect their project and make their way to school. They run into a dog.
Hey, isn't that Officer D.A.R.E.'s puppy? Yeah, the one he brought to class. Hi, boy. Maybe he has rabies. Maybe you have rabies, Tommy. No, I went to the vet last week.
The dog takes off with their schoolwork and they have to follow him. And then the dog leads them into the land of decisions and choices. Within this land are two drug dealers in a van. One is seemingly a child. They have this weird manual that shows them how to entice children into trying drugs, which is kind of funny because it plays into the fear-based way that drug education was presented in the 90s. Be careful, kids. You never know when adorable creatures are going to try to get you to smoke meth.
Let's go. We got merchandise to move.
Yeah.
Wannabe.
The drug dealers appear in a smoke bomb in order to entice the children to try drugs.
Hi, you boys and girls.
Who are you?
I am the Magic Rabbit Guy.
I am the Magic Rabbit Guy. You could have used a little bit more creativity in choosing a name for yourself. Hi, my name's Rachel. What's yours? Hi, I'm the average millennial human woman.
I am the Magic Rabbit Guy.
We're the Wet Bandits.
So the bunny guy magically transports, the children to another location. He magically transports the kids to their first stop, Cigarette Land. So not much to talk about here. There's a bunch of giant cigarette people who are all coughing and stuff, and they kind of talk about how cigarettes are harmful and they can cause cancer and they turn your lungs black and all that stuff that's absolutely true. So they quickly move on to alcohol land, but before they do, they give this little D.A.R.E humble brag.
Wow, you learned all that stuff from D.A.R.E, didn't you? Yeah, I guess so.
Teacher, D.A.R.E taught me that grown-ups in bunny suits will magically appear and offer me cigarettes.
Hi again, kids. It's drinking time.
They enter what looks like a bar where bottles are personified with faces and mouths and stuff.
Want to be popular? Alcohol can make you confident and more fun to be around.
Really? Because it just kind of makes me sleepy. Wouldn't that be a great way to offer someone a drink at a party? Hey Gabby. Hey Jennifer. Hey, Gabby, do you want to be popular? Sure. Well, alcohol can make you more confident and fun to be around. No thanks. You know, Jennifer, essential oils are my drug of choice, so. Oh, okay, that's fine. No, really, I can't stop. Help me.
What's this?
Well, don't worry. You'll get used to it. Let's party. Everyone else is.
It's just such a weird scene to watch what appears to be 9-year-olds being handed alcohol. I don't know.
Now, this being the 90s, you can't just walk up to a guy and smack him in the face. You gotta say something cool first, you know what I mean?
Alcohol might make you seem more fun, but to everyone else, you look stupid. I should know.
How about?
He just ignores her.
How about?
They continue their journey through this weird world of decisions and choices, and they come across what appears to be a giant joint that kind of looks like or is reminiscent of the caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland. They ask her where the dog is. And then the kids realize quickly that everyone there is high on marijuana.
She isn't talking about anything because she's stoned. She's on weed. Most of the things that are dangerous about cigarettes also apply to marijuana, but pot's worse. It makes you lose your memory and motivation. Pretty soon, the things that make you an interesting, valuable person vanish, and then you're left with an empty life, and there's nothing to laugh at.
That's what they told us back then.
And there's another part about marijuana.
What's that?
It can lead you to more exciting, harder drugs to come.
What are harder drugs?
Oh, you'll find out, my dear.
Where are we now?
Want to try some cocaine? First snort is free.
Yeah, they go there in a kid's cartoon.
Give him the cold shoulder.
Iggy, I've been thinking about what those kids were saying about drugs not being too good for you.
So this whole part is what I feel like was very wrong with drug education in the 90s. It kind of walks that line of completely terrifying children and maybe telling them information that they should know to be cautious about drugs. I can't help but wonder how many kids went to school and watched this cartoon and then went home and were completely freaked out and traumatized, and their parents had to deal with the ramifications. Or maybe I was just a really wimpy kid, which I was. I've only recently started watching horror films.
Try a little, just to see.
Lisa, I know someone who's hooked on coke. Sometimes he even steals from his parents to pay for it. Cocaine is one of the most addictive drugs. Don't even try it.
It's the 90s, remember? Microchips, microwaves, faxes, air phones.
So they enter an alley to get away, and all these hard drugs surround them, starting with glue. Yes, like sniffing glue.
important. Just get out of here. What do they mean by hard drugs? Well, first there's glue. People sniff it to get high. It can ruin your liver and give you diseases. Acid or LSD make you see stuff that's not there.
Acid and heroin show up, and then they say this about heroin.
Also get hepatitis or even AIDS from sharing needles.
Generic uppers and downers show up as well.
Oh no! We're trapped!
Ready to try the good stuff, kiddies?
Don't let him fool you!
Why, you little two-timing... Well, if you can't decide, try them all. Go ahead, boys.
Get him.
Scared of the puppy! There must be a way out of here! But what did Officer D.A.R.E. say?
Benny, get over here.
He doesn't have any power over you. You can do whatever you want.
That's right.
That's it.
Don't pull that. His moves are power.
They remove the power source from the land of decisions and choices. What a metaphor, right? Like take the power of drugs away, which is good. And then they get back to school and do their report on drugs.
And that's our report.
Oh yeah, and they're illegal too.
And then everyone, including the little boy who used to be a drug dealer, clap for them. Yay, he's back in school. And then we end with some great 90s tunes over the credits. Final thoughts. Again, you know, like most anti-drug cartoons or PSAs or whatever from the 90s, this was made with good intentions. But again, it plays into this fear-based place that drugs are lurking around every corner ready to get you and entice you. And if I would have seen this when I was little, like it would have terrified me. Silver lining, it's pretty funny and pretty dated. I gotta go, but Sana, you wanna try some nail polish? No, I'm sorry. I've actually been trying to lay off nail polish because it makes my nails really thin and then they chip and then I have to paint it every week and it's just, no! What? As a drug? Okay, only if it will make me more confident and fun to be around though. Yeah, it will. Okay. Is this how you do the drugs?